in Chatham Kent. Bit of a game hunt today with me, OGDuffy. Let's see what we can find. There's a Cash Convertors, there's a CEX, and I usually do alright here, guys, so onwards and upwards. Always find Cash Converters very hit and miss. Load of these Hot Wheel cars in the window and behind the counter in here. Loads of Hot Wheels, honestly. I did speak to the staff about them and they said they've been inundated with like Hot Wheel car collection, but they did admit they're not shifting, so oh well. I'm sure a collector will come along at some point and snatch them all up. Unfortunately, in terms of real retro, like, you know, your Sega Mega Drive and the Master System and stuff, weren't an awful lot, but there was a good few amount of PS3 games, and I did pick some up, and some other bits, but unfortunately, as I say, it was a bit light on the floor this time. But you know what? It's always worth looking in these Cash Converters, because you never quite know. And this item here, this caught my eye. This is called a Rabbit R1 Companion. Now, I have absolutely no idea what that is. I just saw it. It intrigued me. It's obviously, I assume it's not gaming related. But one of you good people will know. So do drop in the comments. What is that thing? What does it do? Because I'm a bit stuck on that one, to be honest. Carrying on in the windows, because that's where you see a good amount of retro. And more windows inside this one as well, the old glass cabinets, which is a good thing, it is. Nice Sega Saturn game there. Let's take a closer look at that there. It's a Street Fighter Alpha 2. Now, those that watch the channel know I have an awful lot of love for Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior on the SNES. It was my first sort of real Street Fighter experience, and I absolutely loved it. But I have to confess, I've never played this variant of Street Fighter. Am I missing a trick? Is it one of the better ones? And a question for everyone out there. What is the best Street Fighter game? A lot of people say Street Fighter 3, Third Strike. What's your impression or opinion? Let me know. Carrying on in the windows, a Mega Drive Mini. Forgotten Worlds there. It looks in nice condition as well. That was £38. Code 2 Kart Racer. £45, obviously a bit of a more collectible title there. Looking at the PS1 games, I've got a love for the PS1 at the moment. I'm thoroughly enjoying picking up games for this. But this game here caught my eye. Look, the X-Files. Now, obviously, we all remember the X-Files, the TV show. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't one of those fellas that watched every single episode and I know the full story arc and that. I do not. It's one of them shows I used to catch the odd, episode, and I enjoyed what I saw. But I'm just intrigued, is that game any good? Has any one of you guys got any experience about the X-Files on PS1? If so, drop in the comments. Is it worthy of a pickup? Let me know. And more great retro here. Bit of Alien Trilogy and Die Hard on the Sega Saturn there. Well, it's good seeing the old Sega games, the Saturn games. You don't see them very often now. Rambo 3 there on the Mega Drive. Never played that. I loved the Rambo films, First Blood and Rambo 2. They were amazing. Yeah, I grew up pretty much on them in my teen years. Duel Master there. Now, I always intrigued by that cover. I thought it was going to be like an RPG, but it wasn't. It was a puzzle game. And in here, a few loose carts, Sword of Sodan being one of them. Seen that a few times now, and yeah, I'd probably be interested if it was complete, but I've never seen it complete in here, and that's been knocking around for an age, that single cart, so obviously chose to leave that one. Anyway, on to the PS2 now. Always like looking at the PS2, so I still think there's some very well priced games to be had for this system. And this caught my eye, of course it did. Justice League Heroes. It's a DC comic book. Now, those that watch the channel know I'm a bit of a DC fanboy. I prefer the DC comics over the Marvel comics. I can't say the same for the films, but for the comics I definitely can. So quite an interesting title there, one I don't know anything about. So yeah, interesting. And staying with the PS2, spotted this here, Champions of Norath, £15 that one. Know absolutely nothing about that title. If you do, drop in the comments for me. But then this caught me eye. Look, Fruit Machine Mania. Who doesn't love a go on a fruit machine? Come on, let's be honest. Especially the older style ones where, you know, you have to get your numbers in. But then look at this. It's a Capcom game. Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. Now, you know me, the OG. I do love a Capcom title. And this caught my eye, and it's one I'm not aware of. I mean, I love Capcom mainly from sort of their arcade days. That's where I was sort of made aware of them. But of course, since then they've gone on to produce some absolutely classic, amazing games. But this one's a new one on me. So again, as always, people, is this worthy of a pickup? Let me know. Simpsons Road Rage there. That seems to have been about forever and a day. Now let's have a bit of fun here with you good people. Now obviously the Mega Drive is an amazing system and brought us some true classic games. But here's the question. There you go. Stop here. Look at all those games. Which one of them are you choosing to play and why? Which is the best one of that lot? As always, drop that in the comments just for a bit of fun. Yeah, quite a few classics on there. But if I was pushed, probably Golden Axe or Sonic, of course. On to the 360, because I know so many of you are collecting for this at the moment. Now, over on the OGDuffy Discord, it's free to join. Come and join in. This Resident Evil Revelations game is the game we'll be playing in Game Club for next month for Halloween. So I've never played it. I'm looking forward to that. Gets me to play games that I've never really played, and I'll play right through. So do jump on board with that. The link's in the video description, and it's free, as I say. Lost Odyssey here on the Xbox 360. Not a game I'm aware of, because like I say, I don't really go in for 360 collecting, but does look like my sort of thing, that. Yeah. So is that a decent one, people? And as you can see behind that Nintendo Wii U shelf was calling me. Oh yes, I have 10 to go to get the full pound set. I'm so close. And unfortunately there was none here for me. Now I've noticed GameCube games. There was an awful lot of stock in CEX at one point, but they're starting to drop down again. So are people going back in to collect on the GameCube? Or is it just me? Let me know in the comments. The original Xbox, now what a machine that was. I remember having it, and I had Halo with it, and my god, what a game Halo was. It was revolutionary, it really was, and it was probably the best first person shooter I've probably ever played, especially the campaign mode. I loved it. I played it right through and kept me very engaged. A quick look at the Wii games, because as you know, I do love looking at the Wiis, because you get so many unique titles that make use of that specialist controller from this system, you know. The Wii Remote, what a gadget. So cleverly designed for the time. Now this trauma centre here, £1.50. Where else could you learn to be a better surgeon, eh? Oh, yes. Actually, my shakes are a bit too bad for me being a surgeon, but you never know. Anyway, look, Wii Sports here, the original, £10. Now, this is the lowest. I've seen this for quite a while. It was quite a high-priced game, especially in a cardboard sleeve for whatever reason. I really don't know. And it's one of them games that have just baffled me, because a copy of this come with every console sold. So there's so many copies of this game floating around that it should literally be a £1 title, but for whatever reason it isn't. It's just retained its value. It's now down to a tenner, but I can remember at one point I think it was about £20, might have even been a bit more for a game in that cardboard sleeve. And I was saying, for the love of me, I just don't know why, because there was just so many copies of it produced. Anyway, any ideas? Drop in the comments. I'll be intrigued to hear. Of course, a trip down the PS3 aisle is a must. And no, I did not buy Grease. But look, a cover reprinted. Why does CEX charge the same for a cover reprinted game than they do if it's not got the cover reprinted and it's original? How's that work? I mean, I would have probably bought that Mass Effect trilogy, but not as a cover reprinted job. Nah, not on my watch, son, not on my watch. Anyway, I do like this branch of CEX, as I said, and it's always a joy to come here. That's dropped £1 in value. Ni no Kuni was actually a £5 last time I paid for that. Got very good reviews. I've yet to play it.
Game hunt finished, people. CEX and Cash Converters had a result in both, actually. So we'll go back to OGDuffy Towers and I'll show you exactly what I found. But you know what we do before that, don't you? Oh, yes. Because it'd be rude not to. So grab a beer.
Game hunt finished, people, and one thing for it. Lady Stella. See you all back at the games room, people. I'm quite pleased with my pickups. Back from Chatham, people, and I have to say, Chatham I love Chatham for game hunting, I really do. I mean, the Cash Convertors, they can be very sort of hit and miss, and the CEX though happens to be probably one of my more favourite ones in the local area that I visit in Kent, you know. My local one's all right, you know, don't get me wrong, but there's something about the Chatham one that I've always liked. It always has a good range of games there, you know. It's a decent sized store and it's very busy. There's a lot of people trading in there, so obviously their stock rotation is pretty damn good. But anyway, I digress as always, people. We will go and look up the pickups I've had. But before we get to the video games, there was something else I found when I was perusing the shelves in Cash Converters, or Crack Converters as I like to call it, and it was a musical related item. Yes, and it's this. Those that watch the channel will know I do like myself a bit of Iron Maiden. Oh yes, I do. I mean, there's a 12-inch cover up there, and there's a signed photo there. So I do love a bit of Maiden. So I saw this behind the counter. Now I don't go in for these things normally, but it is this here. It is a pop. Yeah, I've got a few pops indoors that have been given to me over the years for Christmas presents and things like that. Obviously kept them ones, but this Power Slave it's like an album artwork there, and yeah, I saw that and I thought, you know what, I like that. I'm treating myself because I'm worth it. So there we go, a bit of Maiden, Power Slave. That was $14.99. A little OG, I bought it home, little OG said to me, he said, yeah, said they did a Megadeth one not long ago that I'd have really liked. But looking at it a bit closer on the inside there, it's like, I don't know if the camera's picking up, probably there, you can see there, that's it. There's like a couple of little mounting holes, so I assume you can take this out, this cover, and there's plastic there, it's in a plastic sort of container, and then I assume you can mount it, he says. There's a bit of toot inside there, a bit of like paper that's flaked out, so it needs a bit of a clean. But I'm assuming that case will probably come off. But anyway, $14.99, not video game related, but you know what? I thought I'm not leaving that sitting there. I could mount that on the wall, I could do all sorts with that, or I could just keep it in the box and tuck it away for a rainy day. But hey, where would the fun be in that? Anyway, sorry about that, but I just had to show you. I was well impressed at that. Let's get to the video games. The clue to the first lot of pickups from Cash Converters is these shelves here. Obviously the PS3 section. You know, the OG of these PS3 collector. I love the PS3. Anyway, all of these games were £1.99 each, so no massive heavy hitters or anything, but 3 titles I haven't got, and I thought, you know what, they look half decent. Now, the first one is that there, Vanquish by Sega. Now, the thing is with this, as I say, all £1.99, all complete, okay, you know, I'm not going to show you every time, but there you go, the manual. I picked this up a while ago during a CEX video game hunt, and there was no manual with it, so I left it. So anyway, I've got it now. So Vanquish, you eventually come home, and another time I picked it up as well in a CEX, they couldn't find the disc. So, hey, I've got it now. The next one is another Sega game, and not one I'm aware of. It's called Stormrise. As I say, it's Sega. It's a new one on me. It looks a bit first-person shooterish. Yeah. Oh, maybe there's 2 teams there. So let's see what the synopsis says on the back. Frontline command, intuitive, fast-paced control of your troops across massive battlefields, seamless multiplayer, instantly jumping, vertically, gain access to high grounds to increase tactical advantage. So maybe it's a bit tactical. I used to enjoy a nice bit of a tactical romp. Now, here's a game. I got this. This is complete. It's actually in fairly nice condition, this. And again, it is a Sega PS3 game, and it is that there, The Club. I do recall showing this in a video where I was sort of scanning the shelves, and I think I found this, and people said, The Club is a great game, OG, you should get it. And so for £1.99 I picked it up because it'd be rude not to. And let's be honest, at £1.99, right, even if I put that on and I play it for an hour, it's £1.99. It's hardly a big loss, is it? Kills, earn scores, scores bring success, success means survival. This is the mantra of The Club, a secret network of corrupt businesses and sick millionaires who fund and gamble the world's most lethal blood sport. Sounds interesting. Obviously the title there, The Club. Bit Fight Clubbish, is it? Hey, Anyway, what did I get in CEX? Over by the Wii now, and of course the Wii U. No, I didn't get any Wii U games this outing, because unfortunately all the Wii U games I want, none of them were there. I think I need 10 at last count. I'm down to the final 10 to get that full Wii U power set. So they're getting harder to find the ones I need. But I will get there, people. Anyway, what did I get? I got some Wii titles, and this, right? Now, Star Wars or Star Trek? You know and I know, I'm Star Wars all day long. Don't mind Star Trek, don't get me wrong, but I've not had an awful lot of time with it. Anyway, I found this, right? Star Trek Conquest. And I thought, £2. I thought I'd take a gamble on that. And the reason I took a gamble on this is, I read the back and it says, Conquest features a blend of intense action and strategy set in the Star Trek The Next Generation era. While managing your resources, you must lead your forces in a campaign to control the galaxy one planet at a time. So I looked at that and I thought, actually, do you know what? That's probably quite good fun. It looks like them sort of turn-based strategy games. I used to love them sort of games, and I thought, for £2, give it a go, OG. Give it a go. What can possibly go wrong? Oh, next one, another Wii game. This was only £3. Again, they're all complete. And this is called Samurai Warriors Katana. Now, I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, that you can use the Wii remote for sort of different weaponry, because it's showing here, there's 8 weapons. It's showing like a katana sword, some spear thing, a hammer. And I don't know if that's a gun or not, but I'm hoping that there's like a gun section in it where you can use the Wii remote as like the zapper, you know, because I think the gun games on the Wii are amazingly impressive, even still today. And the Wii remote controller just works wonders when you want to play a sort of a railgun shooter and the rest of it. So there's that one. But don't fear, there's more. We're going back to the PS3 now. Now, this is a brand of game I really don't know anything about. And again, I will apologise for my mispronunciation of this title, because no doubt I will be mispronouncing it. I apologise. But it's that there, okay? £6 whole, and it's called Disgaea 3 Absence of Justice. Disgaea 3. If I've mispronounced it, drop me in the comments. How do you pronounce that? Disgaea. I looked at the back here and it looked a bit sort of Final Fantasy sort of to me, like the Final Fantasy 7, you know, the sort of the early one on the PS1. It reminded me of that, the graphics on the back. So I thought maybe it's a bit sort of RPG-ish like that. I really know nothing about this franchise of games at all. An Evil Academy, the blah blah blah, boasts over 100 hours of captivating tactical bangers, endless squad customer, cool anime style visuals. This quest be the baddest, but kiss. Yeah. Any good? Let me know. Drop me in the comments. But you know what? All this talking, thirsty work. It's that time of the week on a Friday video when we draw a name out of the pot and we see who this beer is dedicated to. And this week, oh yes, Rory Patton, this beer this week is for you, my friend. Thank you for your support, etc. Let's see what beer, Rory, you're getting. Rory's beer this week is DAB Dortmunder Export. It's German. It's 5%, but even better, it's in a 660ml bottle. Which you know what that means, people. Oh yes, it's over a pint. So let's pop this bad boy. Oof. Pour it up. Now, I have to apologise at this stage for the state of the glass. This had lovely Mario Kart graffiti all over it. It's obviously been put in a dishwasher once too many times and it's all flaked off. But anyway, this DAB Export Lager. Let's get that one poured up, Rory. Oh yes. Right, I would like to thank every one of you for subscribing, supporting the channel, liking and commenting. Most importantly, I love hearing about your pickups and what you've been up to, what games you enjoy, which of these games are good, which ones of these are bad, which ones are absolute bargains. Anyway, Rory, Mr. Patton, sir, this beer is for you. It's cold. it's wet, it's beer. What's not to love? Cheers, Rory. It's a good one, sir. Thank you for your support, everybody. And keep subscribing, liking, and doing that good stuff. Anyway, 3 more pickups to go. 3 games left to go. I am particularly pleased with one of these pickups, very, very much so. But anyway, the first one here, this was £10, PS3, The Saboteur, right? Now, someone mentioned this on the Discord and on the channel recently. They said it's a great, great game, OG. And a few of you have said it's a really good game. I never played it. The only Saboteur game I know was from the ZX Spectrum. That was absolutely superb and a game I have a lot of love and respect for. So if this is anything like that, it's going to be good. Graphically, it might just be a little bit better than the ZX Spectrum version. But will it play as well? Quite looking forward to it. Get revenge, unleash a huge arsenal of weapons and explosives to destroy the Nazi war machine. So it's obviously set in wartime. Okay, didn't know that. Oh yeah, this is a good sign, isn't it? Winner of IGN's Best Artistic Game Award at E3. Sabotage the enemy, inspire the resistance. So I'm looking forward to that one very much so. But this game, I saw this and this excited me. I was like, yes! Right. Wasn't expensive. It's a PS3 game. Castlevania Lords of Shadow, the collection. So on that, you're getting the Lords of Shadow 1, but you're not just getting that, you're getting the Lords of Shadow 1, you're getting the 2 DLC packs, and then you're getting Lords of Shadow 2 with its Reverie and Resurrection DLC. So I'm quite impressed with that. I've got both of these games already, but as you know, I'm going for like all the HD collections and things as well. So that, for a tenner, I was well happy. Now, I'll be honest with you, I picked it up and I thought to myself, I really want that. But when it was on the shelf, I opened it up and there was no manual in it. But when it come to putting the disc in, the manual was with the disc. Now, this is something I debate quite often on here with some of you guys. You always say, oh gee, there was no manual because they're behind the counter. That is the first time ever I've experienced a manual being behind the counter. Anyway, £10, the Castlevania collection. Like I say, I was really, really pleased with that one. So that was good. And that leaves one more game for us, people. Oh yes, so what is it? It's a PS1 game. And this one will definitely be getting a play. Just lately, I've been getting a load of PS1 games, so my PS1 collection has been building very nice of late. Now, I saw this there and I thought, shall I, shan't I? I looked at the condition, I thought, I've got to have it. It is Broken Sword 2 on the PS1. Now, anyone who knows this genre of game will know, obviously, the Broken Sword titles. These, to me, come a bit later in the genre. I mean, point-and-click adventures were... There was loads of them back in the day. Obviously, there's the obvious ones, you know, your Monkey Island 2 were just absolutely 2 amazing ones. And then you had your Broken Sword, which come, like I say, at a later date. But these were very, very good indeed. And the sort of game anyone can really sort of get into, you know. Don't get me wrong. There's no quick pick up and play with this. You start playing these point and click adventures and you're invested. You've got to invest your time into it because, trust me, this isn't like a 2-minute arcade shoot 'em up. No, it ain't. You've got to go in, you've got to solve the puzzles, you've got to collect items, you've got to work your way, unfolding the story as you go. I mean, don't get me wrong, the point and click games are probably not for everybody, but I really, really used to enjoy them. So when I saw this, I thought, you know what, OG? Why not? It'll be rude not to. So that will be added to the PS1 shelf for sure. That was Chatham. A great place for a game hunt. I really do love doing a game hunt in Chatham. The crack converters there always throws up some either decent games or nothing at all. It's hit or it's miss. And the CEX there, as I've already said, is one that I really, really do like. It's just I say, a lot of trades go on there, so the stock rotation is pretty damned good. Anyway, games on the screens we've had here, obviously. We've had a bit of Ghouls and Ghosts there, but you probably already knew that, a Capcom classic. And Outrun by Sega. Just missing a steering wheel and a gear lever. But anyway, two absolutely classic games. I've been OGDuffy, you've been awesome. And remember people, if you don't already do so, subscribe. But most important of all, in the comments, let me know your thoughts about the games that I picked up. Good, bad, have you played any of them? If so, which one should I play first? And equally, what pickups have you had of late? I love reading what you've been up to, what pickups you've had and all that. Anyway, thanks for everything, and Rory, thanks for your support, buddy, and thank you all of you for your comments and likes and everything. You're amazing. Cheers, guys. See you all on the next one. Cheers, Rory. This beer is for you, my friend. Oh, yes.